every time I would hit him to the body, I could tell he was hurt, and he didn't really want to get hit again. And then at the end, he was firing pretty aggressively, and this is also a sign that they got hurt, right? So I thought, I think I almost have you now. So I put some more pressure. Even got to show some nice head movement, and I saw him backing up, getting ready to throw that right hand again. I think if I throw this knee right now, I'm going to get him. So I did. That's about it.
In a weekend filled with combat sports, I would argue my next guest had the biggest win of the weekend, coming off a knockout over Bo Nickal. And I'm also happy to say I was on this guy's hype train a little bit before everybody else. It is my pleasure, as always, to speak to Reinier de Ridder. Reinier, welcome back. Congratulations on an incredible win. I imagine you got to be a very happy guy today.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I just got back home this morning. So I spent a lot of time in an airplane meanwhile, but it's nice to be home, kiss the kids. I just put them in bed, and all is good.
Well, I appreciate taking time. Before we get to the fight, can I ask, they announced your name now as RDR instead of the Dutch Knight. When did the nickname change?
I don't know. Now you guys can decide the stuff. I don't mind.
It was funny. They announced it. I was waiting for the Dutch Knight, and they said RDR, and I was like, that's new. I guess they just decided to get a new nickname.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, of course, huge win over the weekend. Have you even had a chance to rewatch the fight by this point?
Yeah, not really completely. I've only seen some snippets so far. But I think it pretty much worked out well, right? So
yeah, we talked beforehand. It's funny because we talked beforehand, and you said that, like, of course you want to grapple with this guy. Everyone wants to watch you grapple because it's one of the best wrestlers against one of the best grapplers. And I don't know if you saw it, I don't know if you paid attention to it, but Bo had a comment during fight week saying, of course he wants to grapple because he's afraid of getting knocked out. Could you imagine the fight playing out any better than that? I mean, I'm sure he would have taken a submission just as much as anything, but to knock him out that way and get a very dramatic ending, I mean, you couldn't have written a better script.
Nah, this was pretty decent. To be honest, I would have liked to choke him out more. But I asked him to come and train together. I think we could really help each other out, help each other grow. So maybe I can find that neck one day in the training room.
Yeah. What after you spent a full round in there with him, and I think everyone scored you winning round one. He got an early takedown, but you got a great reversal off the guillotine. You got on top of him. You never allowed him to move out from under you, which is tough to do. Wrestlers are good at getting up off their backs. Before the knockout, it seemed like you were pretty dominant in there, but were you surprised at the way the fight was playing out early, even on the ground?
No, not really. I was able to really keep him busy with all the body shots once we got into the clinch. So in the first round, we were off the cage a little bit. And with the whizzer, I was able to create a little bit of distance, keep his hips back a little bit. And every time I got to an angle, I could fight a knee. And I think I was already hurting him with the knees in the first round. Then a couple of shots, couple of punches that I got him with. And on the floor, I have like a standard procedure to go with the wrestlers. And that's what I did in the fight as well. Making it pretty easy for me to get up. And once I started wrestling up, he got the guillotine, and I know how to defend this stuff. You know, this is just something I'm a little bit ahead of him at right now. And then in the second, every time I would hit him to the body, I could tell he was hurt, and he didn't really want to get hit again. And then at the end, he was firing pretty aggressively, and this is also a sign that they got hurt, right? So I thought, I think I almost have you now. So I put some more pressure, even got to show some nice head movement. And I saw him backing up, getting ready to throw that right hand again. I think if I throw this knee right now, I'm going to get him. So I did. That's about it.
I love it. Can I ask, it seemed like even in the clinch, because a lot of times you see guys approach fights with wrestlers, they don't want to get in the clinch because that's where wrestlers spend half their lives, is in the clinch battling for position. But it seemed like you were able to kind of move him around and out muscle him. Did you feel like that much stronger than him? Because I think that even surprised a lot of people that like you initiated the clinch over and over and got the better of him in that position. That's generally where wrestlers kind of live and breathe.
Yeah, that's the main thing I had in my mind going into this fight, and that's the main thing I've been working on positionally as well in the fight camp. I thought this fight was going to be won or lost in the clinch, so I thought this fight would really be centered around that over/under position, the underhook wizard position that we were in. And I know wrestlers spend a lot of time there, but I've been doing this shit since I was 5 years old as well. In judo, this is a very common position, something we work on a lot. And actually, the knee there to the Haragoshi, I wasn't able to throw him with the Haragoshi. This is one of the first techniques that really worked well for me in MMA. So I have some experience there, and I know there's a few subtle things that I like to do, which really helped me set up the knee, and it worked this time again. Yeah.
Can I ask, did you notice, and maybe I'm wrong in this, when he came out in the second round and you hit him, it seemed like he was I took it as like a combination of being hurt, and it looked like he was already kind of like drawing hard breaths, like he was kind of exhausted a little bit. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was like his movement. I was like, he seems kind of tired right now.
Yeah, it's the body shot. So if you get hit to the body like that, especially to the liver with the knee, it zaps you because you can't really breathe anymore, and he is anticipating the strike every time. You could tell because he threw the right hand, but he was kind of scared to throw it as well because he was already compromised to the body. That's how it works. Yeah.
I know you said like ideally you would have liked to have choked him. That would have been the better way to win. But
it would have been cooler, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a fan of body shot knockouts because you can clip a guy on the chin, they go down, they get up and say, well, I wasn't out, right? When you hit a guy to the body like that and he goes down, there's no doubt it's over. So you gotta like that's I don't know how you would rate it like on the coolest endings, but it's a pretty cool ending to body shot a guy like that and have him drop because there's no doubt it was over.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. Maybe close to a guy tapping. So a guy going to sleep, I think, is a little lower on the tier because he didn't give up. And this is like almost as good as a guy tapping. But then I was happy that I could drop him and I didn't have to fire any shots over the top anymore while he was down. You know, he was really, you could really tell it was over. So no unnecessary damage. Most likely he'll be training this week again, so that's good.
Yeah, and not that these are things you think about, but because you went out there and also won the first round, no one can say like you just clipped him, you just caught him. Like you beat him in the first round on the ground, and then you get the knockout in the second round. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's even more satisfying because you didn't just go out there, throw a head kick and clip him and catch him. You actually had to beat him in the first round, then you come out and knock him out in the second. So it was, again, kind of a perfect ending in a way.
Yeah, it wasn't lucky, so that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we talked about this going in, you know, about the magnitude of this. Like Bo Nickal was 7-0, undefeated, not highly ranked, but a very, very big prospect.
Yeah.
I love Corey Sandhagen. Nothing against him and Davison Figueiredo, but I know you've seen it. You felt it. Like this felt as big of a win as you could get at middleweight outside of maybe, no offense, maybe beating Hamzat or Drakus, who are the champion and the number one contender. Would you agree that like the attention this fight has gotten feels like that? Like technically you didn't beat a top 5 guy, but it feels like you just beat the number one guy in the division.
Yeah, that was the thing in my mind as well, going into the fight. He might not be ranked in the top 5, but at least he's a top 5 name. In America, everybody knows this guy. He's highly touted. Everybody expected the world from him. So, I hope this really puts me up there to fight a guy like Strickland, like I called out. So fingers crossed.
It's a weird thing when a guy's on top of the world, he's the greatest thing ever. When he loses, of course, the sudden turn is, yeah, it's always like that. I'm sure you saw, maybe you saw it, I'm not sure, on social media, like people saying like he needed to get humbled, you know, because a lot of things he had said in the past kind of came back. They're saying like, I think at one point I had people sending me stuff when I wrote about the fight, and they said at one point he said if I fight Hamzat, I might be like a minus 1,000 favorite, and like he was talking about all these things, and it's like the internet never forgets. It doesn't sound like you have certainly any ill will towards Bo Nickal, but is there part of you that thinks like this is a big lesson for him because when you're riding that high and you think you're the best in the world, everyone's on your back. But when you lose, the things you said will come back. So like, is there a part of you that feels like maybe he did need that maybe humbling or humility? So just because of how much there was on him as being like the next big thing.
Well, the difference between being very confident and arrogant is very small. Huh? And I've been a victim of this in the past, maybe a little bit as well. I'm always confident in my abilities, but I've stepped over the line a little bit into arrogance as well. And I don't feel he was that arrogant coming into this fight at all. To be honest, he was very humble. He's very from what I've seen, he was very down to earth coming into this fight. So yeah, it's up to him now. Huh? I've been in this position. I've lost terribly. Like pretty much, basically like this fight, I lost as well. Now it's up to him to see if this can be a negative thing or a positive thing. He can make this into a positive thing. He can look at this as being a big lesson and something he's going to grow of, or he can look at this and say, "Ah, that was a fluke," and I just wasn't myself that day, and fuck it. But I think if you see how far he's already got in this game, how far he's got in wrestling, you can't have a weak mindset. He's a very strong guy. He's a very strong individual, and I think he's going to take some time off of planning a fight, and we'll see him back in 6 months, and he's going to tear through a lot of guys, I think.
And you said that you actually offered to bring him down and work with him.
I would really like to work with this guy. Yeah, I would really like to work because of the skills that he brings. It would be awesome to train together. I don't really know if me being a Killcliff guy now and him being ATT guy is going to work out, but yeah, maybe we should do it low key, not tell anybody.
Yeah. Did you actually talk to him after the fight, like in that moment, like after it was over?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's always a shit position because I'm on the highest of highs, he's on the lowest of lows. So I wanted to say some stuff to him, but I thought this is not the moment. Maybe I should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's weird because like we have this conversation all the time. Like when you go out and beat a guy, suddenly what was the word? I think people were saying he got fraud checked, and I'm like, he didn't get fraud checked. He just got beat by a better guy. Like he just got beat by a better fighter.
Yeah, and it's always like that. There's a lot of hype around him, and to be honest, if he's smart, he just puts his phone in another room for the next 2 days, and he just spends some time with his wife and kids. I don't know if he has kids, but he has kids. My wife says. Then he's gonna enjoy some time at home, recover a little bit, then turn his phone on again next week, and nothing happened, right? Because it's just everybody forgets in a couple days. So he'll be fine.
I love that attitude though. You're like, let's work together. Let's help each other out. Cause I'm sure you could learn some tricks from him from wrestling. And then obviously you can help them out in other aspects. And I love that. Again, you don't have to be enemies. You can be friends afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And as I said after the fight as well, I'm just happy I had a chance to fight him now and not in 3 years. Or like in 3 years, he's going to be a fucking killer, man. He's going to run through everybody.
Yeah. So now you may not have seen this, and by the way, it got deleted, but I'm always curious, like right after your fight, One Championship put out a tweet and they showed your first fight with Anatoli Malakin. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I understand it. They showed the clip. Now I went back, they deleted it because I think they got bombarded with people saying, for lack of a better word, a dick move. Did you see that and did you laugh when you saw? I don't know if you saw it or not, but it already got deleted.
No, I didn't see it, and nobody told me yet. But that's a typical one thing to do, I think. Yeah. It's just there's some interesting people there. Let's keep it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you didn't necessarily leave on the greatest of terms, but like when you look at like something like that, I know PFL kind of did that when Kayla left too. Kayla Harrison left, and like right after she won, they dropped to her clip of her one fight losing. Is there a party like you got out at the right time? I mean, now you're 3-0. You just beat one of the biggest prospects, and whatever comes next, I think we'll talk about Sean Strickland in a second. Whatever comes next is going to be a massive, massive fight for you. Like you kind of got out at the right time.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the position I'm in. And more and more, I think you get what you deserve. I might have needed the ending that I got there in one, after all those great years I had before that. And maybe I needed a couple punches to the head and a couple losses to set me straight. And I'm very happy where I'm at now. I feel great. I have a great team at Gilcliff. Yeah, let's see what the future brings, man. Let's see what I can do in this division.
I can't read Russian. I think Anatoli actually posted something, but I think his was actually a compliment. I think I saw
he sent me a message as well. He's a good guy, man. There's nothing wrong with the dude.
Yeah. Now, Sean Strickland, perfect fight. Seems like. Did you have that in your mind, like going into the fight? You go out there and beat Bo Nickal. Sean Strickland was the guy.
Yeah, definitely. That was my the thing I had in my mind. But I knew that to call him out, it couldn't have been like a mediocre win. Couldn't have been a decision, because then there wouldn't be no chance of me fighting Strickland. So I was happy that I was able to do it in this way, and I think now I might have a chance to get it. So if you guys help me out, if you say RDR deserves it, then maybe I get a chance.
Well, I think you absolutely deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. And I love the idea, because you said like best wrestler. Now let's go against the striker. And Sean, of course, and I know you mentioned after the fight, like, you know how Sean is. He says crazy things. He likes to do crazy things. But in terms of like the actual division, it actually is a fight that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. You tell him. Hopefully, then I'll get it.
Yeah. What do you make of Sean? Because like there's one side, the fighter side, that he's obviously a very, very good middleweight. Then the flip side is like when he's building a fight, man, he goes on kind of like a lunatic fringe, man. He really does say some crazy things. What do you make of Sean Strickland?
Yeah, I like that part. I like the fun and games before the fight. I had a chance before my first fight in the UFC to train with him a little bit there at the Extreme. And we had some fun interactions. Yeah, I'll be ready to laugh a bit going into the press conference and stuff. And then skill-wise, the guy's on a crazy level. He's so fast with the jab. The front kick works very well. His wrestling and jiu-jitsu, we haven't seen a lot in the cage, but I know that it's very good as well. Yeah, we'll see, man.
Like it's the reverse of Bo Nickal. Bo Nickal was this great wrestler. You got to knock him out. So I guess you got to submit Sean Strickland, right? Like you got to beat this guy on the ground, right? Like that's how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe throw some knees in first. We'll see.
Yeah. Coming out of the fight with Bo, health wise, okay, no injuries, anything. The reason I'm asking, of course, is like how timing wise, like how quickly would you want to turn around and fight a guy like Sean Strickland?
I'm ready. So we'll see. We'll see what they have for us. I do understand that once we get to the top of the division, it's a little bit more of a planning thing than it was for the first few fights now. But I'm definitely healthy. I'm trying to not eat my way through everything I see in sight, to keep my weight a little lower. But health-wise, I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think and now we know. I know we talked before the fight that we were talking about Hamza and DDP. Now it looks like that fight's not going to happen until later in the year. So yeah. I'm sure you want to stay busy. I mean, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but in reality, if you go out and fight a guy like Sean Strickland, like you got to be nearing that title fight, right? Like, I mean, that would be maybe one more, and then I know again, Bo Nickal wasn't the top 5 guy, but he's a very big name. If you beat a Sean Strickland, though, do you feel like that does get you kind of where you want to be? Because when you look at the division, outside of Hamza, I mean, obviously you got, Nasruddin Imavov is out there as well, but like you've got to be right in that line, correct? If you get a guy like Strickland.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
So this summer,
first, let's get this fight first.
Yeah. So I know they got a book. They got to do International Fight Week. Got July. I mean, is that realistic? June, July? Is that realistic?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I know we talked before the fight, and I said this to you, and I'll say it again now. Like some wins are bigger than other wins, and I'm sure you felt it. I remember when you signed with the UFC, you said you felt you got more attention just signing with the UFC than you did in your last few fights in one. Have you this attention's got to be insane then, because this whole Bo Nickal thing was insane.
Yeah, it's going over the top. After the Kevin Holland fight, it was already crazy, but I never expected that here in my hometown that I when I walk out the door, people come up to me and stuff. It's very cool. It's very special, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me be honest, man. I like RDR. I do miss the Dutch Knight, though. I still like that nickname. That was a cool
Yeah,
nickname.
you can call me whatever. It's all good.
Well, Reinier, congratulations again on the win. What an amazing performance, man. You couldn't have written it any better. Enjoy a little downtime with the family. You know, you're allowed to be a light heavyweight for a little while. You've earned that. And then
Yeah, but I'm a light heavyweight all the time. So
or heavyweight, I guess. Maybe a heavyweight for a couple of days.
Yeah,
Enjoy
exactly.
some food, enjoy some family time. And I think the Sean Strickland fight makes a lot of sense. And I think after a win like that, you've earned the right to call your shot. So I think that does make a lot of sense. So hopefully that happens later this year. Thank you as always for the time. I appreciate it, and look forward to chatting. Hopefully when the Strickland fight gets booked.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Damon. Keep in touch.